let's get
it
make this
right
happen,
now.
Yvette.
I know there's a lot of things going on, but we're gonna try and make this work.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for listening and being there. We're just gonna have to hop into it. And as I was saying, I just wanted to tell you that I'm so excited to have Hannah in the house, and we have two hosts, Didi and me. And you already know us already. We can work into dance anytime and give you a little bit of dance here and there. But we don't have time today because of all the technical difficulties we have. But here's Hannah. I'm going to let you listen to her amazing story that she has to share. And Hannah, I'm going to give you the floor to tell them a little bit about yourself.
Hi. So my name is Hannah Noelle. I am transgender. Prior to all of this, I was a firefighter in the Marine Corps for 8.5 years. I kind of chose that because being a Marine and being a firefighter are like two of the most badass things that anybody can ever really do. So I figured that'd be a good way to like compensate or overcompensate for how I felt deep down. Like I knew since I was about 9 that I had wanted to be a girl, that I felt like I should have been a girl. And I mean, I was
Yeah.
ashamed. I didn't know that.
So what you're saying is that you identified yourself as a male right from your childhood, even though you knew since you were 9 years old that you wanted to be a girl, and you just tried to overcome, you like, did the most manliest things that you can ever know of, like
Yeah,
firefighter, that. And getting into the military, and that to the Marine Corps, which requires so much of, as they would call it, the machoism, and that's how you try to avoid those feelings that you had since you were a child, since you were 9 years old, right?
yeah.
So tell us a little bit more, like, as you were as you identified yourself when you were 9 years old, and you went ahead and did all of those things. What was that point where you felt, yeah, okay, this is who I am, and I want to go ahead and tell the world about it?
So after I got out of the military, I really struggled. Like I had harbored all this hate and anger for so many years, and it put me in this really dark place that I didn't like. I didn't like me. I didn't like myself. I felt like I was a failure, like something was wrong inside of me, and I didn't really want to live anymore. I I felt like I had failed. But when I was really low, I met somebody who is now she's like a mother to me. She saved me. She said, "Hey, if you feel like a woman, then do it. If you're angry, you have all these thoughts in, in inside of you, let go of that hate, let go of that anger. Be the beautiful person you know you are inside. Stop trying to be this macho man because
Yeah.
that wasn't
Yeah. Yeah. And so when you say that, everyone needs that one person, right? That one person that you feel safe and comfortable to talk to. So, sometimes if you're lucky, it's someone in your family or your friend. Sometimes it's this person that you meet at random, and that's the person who kind of changes your life by just voicing out what you're exactly feeling, right? And I'm glad you found that person. And do you want to share her name with all of us?
Actually, Tiffany, so what we kind of getting into that part, like she was saying, yeah. So we know, like everyone, you have that person, mother figure that in your life was telling you all these things that would help you to
Yeah.
But then after her, was there anyone special like that was in your life that you met? I was kind of helping you through that route too. You would like to
Yeah,
tell us?
what is her name, like, that's what I'm trying to, like, because I know yesterday you shared her name with us, and I want, like, if you see, if you want to share her name with everyone,
Of
your mom.
course.
Yeah.
So her name is Tegan. She is one of the newer models with the Willow Scott agency, and she brought all of this out. Like she really did. Like she demachoed a big angry blue marine and turned me into this girl that I know that I am, this sweet person that just tries to make everybody else happy. And she, God, like
Yeah.
she saved me. I would never be here if I had not ever met her.
Thank you so much, Hannah. I know it's not easy to share this across, and I'm glad that you are. And I know that you started talking about her as a mother figure, right? And as part of your family, right? Do you want to probably just go ahead and talk about the rest of your family, the family you grew up with, and everyone, your siblings, and all of that extended family that you have?
Yeah, so I come from a small town in Wisconsin. It was a pretty rough family life. My biological father had a lot of issues that caused a lot of hurt for me and my biological mother and my siblings. They're all they've all accepted me as a woman, but they still struggle because I'm not really in their life. Like we don't really talk much. My biological mother, she really struggled with it. But she's really trying. She really, really is. This year for Christmas, uh, I got a card that was addressed to me, Hannah, and Nathan, my boyfriend, and family. So
That's
I didn't even tell her that I was dating him. So like she took that time to go and look and just really, really, really made me smile, and it gives me a lot of hope.
that's
That's amazing.
that's absolutely beautiful. So you mentioned, like, your siblings. You have like 9 siblings, right? You have a lot of siblings, like,
Yes, I am one of
so,
nine.
right. And
Uh,
like, and also you kind of, like, when you started right after school, did you when you went to military, were you able to keep in touch with them uh, while you were there? And were you still able to keep in touch with are you still able to keep in touch with them now? How does that work?
so when I first joined, there really wasn't any iPhone. Like we had the flip phones or like the brick phones that didn't have really many cameras. There wasn't, I mean, even FaceTime wasn't, it wasn't even around yet. Facebook was still really, really small. So when I joined, about 8 months after I joined, I went to Japan. So I went from being in the same country where I could like call or write a letter to being across the whole other side of the world. So I guess we kind of got used to not communicating as much as family should. Now that I'm back in the States, I've been back for like, wow, 13 years now. God. Like we talk, we text, um, but just we're all trying. We really, really are.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Hannah, for sharing about your family. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I know it's not easy conversation, and it's not easy conversation, and I'm glad you're having this conversation with
Now
us.
we're trying to transition to something
Yeah,
fun, a little bit
yeah,
fun. So we would love to know is a special person in your life, like a boyfriend or anyone special that you'd like to share with us?
Yes, I have been dating my current boyfriend Nathan for a little over 3 years now. He is a trans man. I am a trans woman, so I feel like things just worked out.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
So we met on Tinder, but it wasn't like that type of story. So we hung out for about an hour, and then I had to go back to school, and then after school I picked him up, and then we literally spent like the next 28 hours to together. Like we went out to eat, we were watching TV. I introduced him to Game of Thrones,
Oh,
and
I love Game of Thrones.
I know,
I was like so into it. It was so crazy. Yes, I just
yeah.
gotta put it out there.
So I got him hooked on that show, which in turn got him hooked on me. Everything just worked out, and after 28 hours, I had him.
Yeah, this is like this. When I heard about you talking about Nathan the first time, and you said that the very first date you guys spent 28 hours together just talking and watching Game of Thrones, I think that was like the sweetest thing ever. Because I believe conversation is key. Me being an extrovert, especially, I believe it's key, and it's really, really, really nice that you have that, that with Nathan. And the fact that you mentioned, I think you identify yourself as a trans man, and Nathan identifies her. Right? Am I correct? Am I correct in saying that trans man and trans woman? Right? Nathan identifies
Yeah,
himself as a.
he's the trans man. I'm the trans
Oh,
woman.
sorry. Nathan is the trans man. You're the trans woman. Sorry, terminologies. I got to read it. Keep myself updated for sure. But yeah, it's wonderful that you guys met together and also clicked the very first day, and I think that's absolutely sweet. Yeah, and and I do know you have if a family, you do have kids, and Nathan also gets along with your kids, which is also something that is very important, and it's beautiful that that happened too.
Yeah, I am extremely lucky. My kids love him. My ex-wife loves him. Like, how awesome is that? Where like my ex-wife is like, "Yo, you got a good one," and I'm like, "I know I did right. It's so much better than my first, right?" And she's just like,
Right. So it did work out for the best, right? So how many years do you know Nathan?
Nathan and I have been together a little over 3 years,
Yes, that's
and
awesome.
prior to that, we were married for 7.5.
Mm.
7.5 hours the time you have the kids? Is it
Yes.
2.5? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And does Nathan kind of know the kids and he's in the kids' life, basically, right?
Yeah.
And how did that transition happen? Was it smooth? The kids were cool?
So kids are very, very intuitive. I've always heard that, but I was always like, okay, but I've also seen them lick a window. So how smart are they really? But so before we told them that I'm a woman now and I go by Hannah, they would always see me wearing dresses and nightgowns and like shiny, just
Glitters?
yeah, just fashion, right? And they would always be like, "Oh, Daddy, you're so pretty." And I'd be like, "Well, thank you. Well, thank you, guys." And,
Yeah, they have the
so
prettiest daddy ever.
Right?
yeah. So then Nathan came out, and it was like, "All right, it's time for us to tell them about us." And we told them, and they were like, "We know." And I'm like, dude, I like psyched myself up. Like I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna tell them I'm wreck the whole world. And then they were like, yeah, I know. We already know.
Yeah, your children kind of made your life so much easier because people always think, oh my god, these children, how are they going to process it? But your children are so smart and they process it so easy. And they're not old, they're very young, right? Do you want to go ahead and tell me what you told me earlier about your children, how smart they are and how young they are and how smart they are? Yeah.
So our daughter will be 11 in June, and our son just turned 7 in January. Both of them speak Mandarin. They're learning how to code, and my son plays chess. And I taught him like three months ago, and about 2 weeks ago he beat me. So like these kids are really, really, really smart.
Yeah.
I have a question. Like, when did you know that Nathan was the one? When did you know? Was it like love at the first sight, or was it like a couple of things? Like, when did you know? Like,
So I literally told him I I love you after 7 days. And I'm someone who like I spread love. Like I tell friends, coworkers, kids, like I tell my kids like 50 times every single day, love you guys. Hey, I love you. And I want them to grow up and be like, God, like my parents really, really loved me. They would tell me that like every single day, over and over and over. So it's become common for me to just be like, hey, totally love you. But I told him, and it was just like you were just kind of like, and he's like, you shouldn't have said that, and then closed the car door, and I was just like, oh, Daddy was like, oh, you're so dumb, you idiot. And when I got home, I checked my phone, and he had texted me saying, haha, I love you too. It was just this really, really sweet.
I
Oh,
know.
no.
That's the sweetest thing ever. But Hannah, that car ride for you, I can only imagine how tough that car ride was. Like, you tell Nathan 7 days later that you love him, and then he says, you shouldn't have said that. And then you drive all the way back home thinking, oh my God, did I mess things up? And then you get the sweetest message, hey, by the way, I love you too. I think I think this has scope for a movie right there, like a romantic comedy movie right there, and it's so beautiful. Yeah,
Thank you.
and it's actually pretty wonderful, and. No, we talked about your kids. We talked about Nathan, and these are all really beautiful aspects of your life that wouldn't have been yours if you do not find that courage to come out and tell people, in spite of the society and everything, who are trying to stop you, to tell people who you really are and how you really felt. But then again, there was a time in your life, probably from since you were 9 years old to, I don't know, like 28, right? You came out when you were 28 years old. Till then, you were trying to compensate. You were trying really, really hard to compensate. Like, okay, I am a man. I'm the man's man. I'm the most macho man. If I do all of this, then I don't have to think about, all those feelings inside me where I feel I'm a girl, right? You and then you find the courage to come out at 28. But then again, all these mannerisms that you have been practicing so hard, that you're portraying out there to everyone, right? Be it your family, your wife, your work people, your friends. How was that for you? How was that transition for you? Like, how did you overcome that?
So it really took a lot of work. Um, it's like I said, like I had harbored a lot of hate and a lot of anger and just sadness for years and years and years. So I was slowly shedding all of these layers of this person that I had built up and letting my true self come out. And it was really, really rough. I had some good experiences, some really, really good experiences, and then I had some really, really bad experiences also. I had people that were like, "Yo, I love you. I'm so proud of you. This is amazing." And then I had other people that were like, "I don't ever want to be seen with you again. I'm just not ready for any of this. So talk to me when you're not crazy." And I had more good than I did bad. So I've been very, very, very lucky, and it's getting more and more common. So I'm hoping eventually people like me are going to be open and free to be whoever they want to be and be free of judgment and free of per- persecution or laws saying I can't go in this bathroom or I can't, whatever. All
You,
that is
you,
going to end.
you bring up a very good point, Hannah. And and this is something that we discussed, and we've had conversations on as well. So the fact that there is just not just two genders is there in mythology. Be take it Indian mythology, take it Greek mythology, take it any of these right from the BCs. There is proof in scripts that there are people who identify themselves in multiple genders. We currently say, okay, there are only two genders. Some people say there are only seven genders. I don't think it's just seven. There might be multiple facets of gender identities across the world, right? And there is proof of its existence since forever. But then again, even to this day, in 2021, we still have, society still struggles to accept the fact that if someone is born with a gender identity that they cannot relate to, which is not male or female, they become scared, they become nervous, and they still, and because of that nervousness, because of that scary feeling that they try to put on people, like you, for instance, it made your life very tough, and it's making so many lives tougher too, right? And you had to go ahead and start your life as a male. You went ahead and eventually tried to overcompensate. You had a family life where you identified yourself as a male, and you had your best friend slash sweetheart, high school sweetheart, as your wife as well, right? There was so much hurt, so much anger, all of that you had to go through, just because the society is kind of, not able to see that this is how things are and have always been. And and you bring up that point, and I'm loving the fact that you're counting on your blessings of the people who are nice to you, and who are being supportive of you, than counting all of this, all of that noise out in the background. But then again, there are so many people out there who are still struggling with that fact. And I did bring up that thing about, your family life, how you started that family life. Do you want to go ahead and probably talk a little bit about it? Is that something you want to get just touch upon, how you went through that transition as well?
Like with my ex-wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I wanted to rush into it. Like I was so happy and I was so excited for this person that I knew that I was. And at the time, my ex-wife and kids were visiting family in Wisconsin. So I was like, I'm gonna tell my father-in-law and I'm gonna tell his wife. And that was just completely wrong thing. But I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and for the most part, we're all good and happy. And um, yeah, I'm one of the luckiest people in the entire world.
That's true. You know, yeah. So sorry, go ahead, Yvette.
What was her reaction when you find out, like, for her dad, you said her dad first? people out there, they're trying to find something to kind of buy into in your situation. How did she take it? Like, how was that?
So she was obviously hurt. Um, I had known her since I was 15. She knew me from this young, dumb kid to becoming a father, becoming a Marine, becoming a firefighter. Like she saw me grow into this man, this full-on adult man, and then for me to tell her, hey, I've basically been lying to you about who I really am all of these years. It really, 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 it really hurt her. Um, I
And how are things
Now we are better friends than we ever were. Like we will send each other memes. We'll talk about the kids. We'll call. She got married in December, and her wedding was amazing. I went. Nathan went. The kids went. Her family went. It was dancing and laughing and fun all night long. So we are.
now? That's awesome.
I,
Yeah, we are.
yeah. I think this is a message for everyone out there, those people who are thinking, oh my God, life is going to be so horrible. Especially if I got married, or if I say that it's going to hurt people, that hurt is actually temporary. But the happiness that comes to you by living your true self, that is permanent. And when you're happy, people who love you will also eventually be happy. No matter what the society says, society is what it is. It is a society. There are third people. The people around you who love you, truly care for you, ultimately they just want you to be truly happy. And even if it's really, really, really difficult for them to accept the reality at that point in time, they will be happy when you're happy. And that's exactly what happened with you also, Hannah. Your wife, ex-wife, is actually a true friend to you too, which is why she ultimately, even though she was absolutely hurt, I believe that hurt also stems from the fact that, you know, the hurt and angst that you might have gone through by hiding your true self, right? And then when you were out there showing your real self, that ultimately turned out as happiness for you, for your wife, for your kids, Nathan, and now us too. We are also very, very happy for you. And this
Yeah,
is beautiful. This is beautiful. Thank you
that's
so much for
beautiful.
sharing this.
Yeah, and I wanted to point out after you came out, and then were you going to school? Is there something else you were doing? You know, when you came out, I know in that transition stage, things were really difficult. About what were you doing after when you came out? Were you going to school? Were you working?
So I've been in school to get my nursing degree, and I was also working at the Veterans Hospital. School was going really, really good. I was able to change everything at school to where I go as Hannah, all my schoolwork, all my paper, all my registrations, all as Hannah. So that's been very, very liberating for me. Um, at the Veterans Hospital where I had been working at, that got a little rough. I After about a year or so, I had made my own Facebook page as Hannah, and somebody I had been working with found it, and I was outed at work. Um,
And how was that?
Again, like I had people that were like, "Yo, this is awesome. This is amazing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you." And then I had other people that were like, they wouldn't talk. Like I was completely shunned. Uh, Granted, I was working in housekeeping, so already it wasn't like the best environment. And eventually, I had to step away for my own mental health. But now I'm a model. I am the brand ambassador. I am the face of the Willow
Yes.
Scott Modeling
Yes.
Agency,
Yes.
And
Yes.
August is gonna be an amazing month. So I've got some things,
Like
some
it?
surprises
That's
coming. Yeah.
that's great. So
Yeah.
you being a model, sorry, sorry, you being a model now, is that kind of your way of celebrating the new Hannah, or is it helping in any way, like to express that new you?
It has given me so much confidence in myself. I've met so many amazing people, amazing artists. You, when we first met, like that was magic. Like so many things stemmed from our first photo shoot. It's I'm living I'm living a life that I never dreamed ever possible. I'm happier than I would have ever imagined I could be. I've got a great partner, I've got great kids. I have a support system that is so strong that I have numerous people that I can call. And
It's amazing because if you have a support system like that, or people you can actually count on that you need them, they're there right away, there for you to help, to listen, to be there. That is a huge, good support to always have. It's,
And
it's
and I actually love, and I love the fact, Hannah, how you owned up your identity. It's not like, okay, I changed my identity, but you kind of owned it. You kind of celebrated it. You embrace, not really embraced your identity. You kind of just put it out there, saying that, yo, people, I'm a trans woman right here, and I'm rocking my life right now, and I'm celebrating my new identity, and I'm accomplishing new heights every single time. It's like, oh yeah, I got published. I'm like the brand ambassador, and now I'm doing I'm also doing it along with some of the work that I'm doing, and I'm also probably thinking about going to school. And you have so many things running at the same time while you are while you are actually celebrating, and while you're actually being you and yourself, right? And that's such a cool thing, because and this is like a unique message that you are sending by living your life out there, by saying that, yeah, I struggled. Yes, it was so very hard. I overcompensated for like a lot of my life. It ultimately cost me hurt. It cost everyone I loved hurt. Then I came out. It was very hard experience, but now everyone is happy because you are true to yourself, and that is a message that you're sending out there, right? and and um and that's absolutely wonderful. And Hannah, do you want to probably talk about, I know we did this interview for a purpose, I know, yes, to talk about how great a human being you are, how you've accomplished all these things, and how and it's also to talk about some of the struggles, so that people probably who's out there, right, who can reach out to you. So do you want to go ahead and probably use this opportunity to go ahead and tell what you also are willing to offer to the people who might be going through similar circumstances as yours at this point?
absolutely. So throughout life, let me start over. I feel like I can really nail this. Okay. So
you got it.
You won't. You got it.
so life is all about a journey about finding ourselves and finding who you are, finding what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel like you. Who are you? If you are a person who knows you are in the wrong body, if you know the situation that you are in is wrong, change it. I know that sounds super easy, but be, becoming me wasn't super easy. I made a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of things I wish I could take back as a young trans woman. I did a lot of things as a grown male that I wish I could take back. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've had a good system, and I know I knew what I needed to do was I needed to live as this person because the person I spent the first 28 years of my life as, I knew deep down that was wrong. And I hope somewhere my life can be looked at by somebody else who's, whether you are a kid, whether you are 80 years old, if you know you are in the wrong body, follow what you know you need to do. Follow what your body feels like it wants to do.
And is there
I,
any? Go
amen to
ahead.
that. Amen to that. And you know what?
Yeah.
And you know what? Anyone who's out there who's listening to this, people from India, people from Africa, people from UK, US, anywhere out the world who's probably going to listen to this at some point in time, this is what I want to let you know. People make mistakes, and Hannah's, and if you're going through something similar circumstances, what Hannah's also trying to say is that you can reach out to her. We're going to put her IG handle over there. We're going to put her Facebook handle over there. Go ahead, and even if it's to just ask, hey, how are you feeling, or just something very simple. So if you're not ready to go ahead and ask the hard questions yet, to start a conversation, if you feel you need a support system, what Hannah is saying is that she wants to use her platform to go ahead and share her story so that you can also learn from her mistakes, but also so that you know that you're not alone in this. There are people out there who are going to be there with you, who are going to be your support system in some form or way or the other. And thank you so much, Hannah, for providing that platform to those people. And kind of like, I think that's kind of the platform you probably wish you had, right, at that point in time. And that's what you're providing people. And I really, really, really appreciate that you're doing that.
And before we wrap everything up, just want to say thank you, Aditi, for that talk. I wasn't able to jump in a lot, but you kind of cover most of the points. And Hannah, thank you. And we have actually Nathan in the house. You can just pop out here and give Hannah a kiss so you can get to meet him. Good to
Let
see you,
us
Nathan.
give it up for
Oh,
Nathan. Yes,
and
yes.
that is Nathan. And we
Oh, this
can
is
wait
so
for
good.
Ed up here too. But thank you so much, guys, for listening to Hannah's story. Again, she's gonna put everything out there. She really, really want to be able to support and listen to kids that are out there that's trying to kind of find their own way into our society right now as things, people keep growing. Like you're saying, it's every part of the world. I'm from Africa. I didn't even hear about anything about transgender, anything. I didn't know anything about it. So it's really kind of like secret. It's still secret out there. Nobody wants to hear about it, or some cultures don't even believe in it. So it's out there. We just want you to know that there's people out here that are waiting to support you, that are waiting to listen to you, that are waiting for you to just sit down and they just want to listen. That's all. If you're not even ready to talk the hard talk with them, they're there. They're opening that door for you to, hey, we're here for you. We'll listen to you and we'll be there for you if you need someone to talk to or someone to hold your hand and tell you everything will be okay. And we're all in this together. And we're all a community that here trying to help each other out and find our own destiny, our own way. So let us help each other and grow and learn and be there for each other as a community and as a human. So that's all we're here for. Right, Hannah? We all
Yes.
got this. We all
Yay! Give it up for Hannah, Nathan, Abed, and hopefully me too. Thank you. Thank you. uh, uh,
And
okay.
yeah, we're looking forward, and we're gonna be having another event coming up again, April 25th. That's a Sunday. Put that on your calendar. Business people, model, not a model, thinking what to do in the middle. You don't know what you want to do. That's what a community is for, to support and grow and lead you and learn and find mentors and all these things. A community is there for that. So look at Aditi. She's amazing talk. She
Yes.
talks great. I'm even learning my English way around things. But she will be there to listen to you. You want to just talk to someone, call her up, message her up. She will send you a message back. She'll listen to you. She's a great dancer too. And everybody here have talent. We all just want to shine a light on that and say, hey, let's do that together. Let's hold hands together and let's work two things together. So let's do it. Let's support each other. Let's grow up.
Okay, AC Creative Minds, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Thank you so much, Hannah, for spending the time with us. It was awesome, and I'm
Even though it
glad
was
you know I have a
crazy,
friend. I
even though
got a
it was
friend.
crazy, we couldn't get things done. But hey, we get it done, right?
Got it done. Yes. Okay. Okay. Bye. Bye, everyone. I'm going to sign off. And